DID, or dissociative identity disorder, is a form of mental health disorder in which a person feels that they have multiple different people living in their body. This is otherwise known in medical circles as being fucking mental. Now, an interesting part of DID is that it seemingly only manifests within white women. Former Smosh member Anthony Padilla has decided to interview a variety of nutters to get to the bottom of this mysterious illness. So let's meet the fuckers. We got Amanda, we got Nin, we got the Redwood. This guy's got something. I'm an empath. I can tell.
Yeah, so having DID means that as a child, your personality was unable to fully develop into one singular. Everybody as a child starts off with an unintegrated personality, and if there is repeated or severe trauma before that age, then the brain can say trauma, along with the ability to dissociate to a high level and having disorganized attachments to your primary care, prevents one personality from fully integrating because the amnesia that goes up to keep that trauma away. And that's why if you have DID, you have multiple personalities rather than one singular one.
That sounds like science. You get a lot of scientific words there. You got to integrate your retrofactory personality type into your binocular mental mainframe. It's simple stuff, really.
Right. And you start to think, like, what could this be? Am I possessed? Am I like?
You thought you were possessed?
Like, I didn't think I was possessed, but I definitely wasn't going to talk about it with anyone in case I maybe was possessed.
Yeah. Did you explore that at all? Because maybe you should have.
I have 16. So there's 17 of us total, ranging from age 4 to eternal.
Eternal?
Eternal. She's really cool.
Whoa.
She's really, really cool.
This is where it starts to stretch credulity for me. Eternals? You got vampires in there? Werewolves?
Camden Gerard Davis.
I don't have all of the brain power. I don't have all the body batteries. We have each different connections to different pathways in the brain and in the body. Like, I feel more sensation in certain parts of my body.
It's like the Power Rangers, you know? Ali, you take the arms. Alex, take the legs. And I'll take the head. With our powers combined, we become really fucking uncoordinated. They all hate the movie Split for some reason. I don't really know why, because based on everything they're saying, Split seems incredibly accurate. Like, is the beast really that far-fetched? This woman just said she has a vampire.
Split was actually like what drove me into plural activism, because I was like not planning on talking about it. What's sad about that movie is, like, James McAvoy said in an interview in Good Morning America, I think, that he watched a lot of YouTube videos by multiples to understand the role, but that he couldn't find anyone to talk to study for the role. So it kind of feels like a form of stealing.
Yeah, he's stealing my character idea. I mean my totally real alternate personalities.
Teachers have used Split to educate their students about DID, as in, like, this is an example of DID. Like,
How do you feel about that?
It is bollocks. Like, oh, it's ridiculous. We ain't gonna hurt you, we ain't gonna kidnap you, like.
This alter is a persecutor called Dark, and he would tell me things that aren't very pleasant, like, you know, you're horrible, you deserve to die, you deserve everything bad that's ever happened to you.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Ugly, you are disgusting, I'm going to kill you, give me $200.
Of the three of these guys, I've got to say, Nin is the only one really putting any effort into the grift. Nin's doing like fucking tongues, she's rolling her eyes back into her skull, she's putting on silly voices, really putting on a show for us. Amanda doesn't even attempt doing that. She doesn't even show off the vampire personality she claims to have. That's probably why she has the least screen time. Like, if you're gonna come on the Anthony Padilla show, you stupid bitch, you better show off your vampire form. Get your fucking vampire out for the lads. Redwood fucking sucks at faking, though. He'll just be talking normally, and then in the middle of the sentence he just goes, I'm Jonathan now. And then he just continues.
Who wants to answer this question?
Yeah,
so this is Z. So it was like a combination of Ali and Eliza talking before.
Oh.
It's incredible that despite the amnesia that occurs when taking control, that you talked about like 10 seconds ago.
It's almost like having amnesia and leaving notes for yourself.
No, it's called dissociative amnesia is like basically the term for that.
He could just continue talking like nothing happened. If he hadn't told us he'd swapped there, we would have never known. It's quite the skill. Could you do that with one of your friends? Just be talking normally and then randomly stop? And then your friend would just take over with no delay and continue the conversation exactly as you would have? The reason this is so near and dear to me is because I have been harboring a secret personality for years. And I think I finally built the courage to show him off to the world. It was Donald Trump,
Donald Trump, if you can hear us.
Grab him by the pussy.
Let me tell you something. If there's one guy who knows deals, I know deals. I'm so good with deals. There's so many shirts providers. People like Ethan Klein. Great guy. Love him. Great guy. But Ethan, your shirts? They're a piece of shit. I hate them. You're a loser. Now take a look at my shirts. My shirts are so good. Look at my shirts. The drugs are wearing off. My shirts are so good. Ethan Klein, he tried to have me killed. He tried to take me out. He tried to assassinate me because he said, Donald, your shirts, they're too good. bungeebigstore.myshopify.com. Get your shirts. The drugs are wearing off. You can wear those to your... You can wear them to your grandmother's wedding.
I'm trying very hard to stay in the body.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm sorry.
If you need to take a moment, totally cool.
I'm switching, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. We got plenty of time, like I was saying.
It's hard.
Hey, I know it's hard, but you're so strong because you flew all the way out here, and and it's okay to feel these. You don't take a quick moment things, because
Sorry, what?
do you want to take a quick moment off stage?
No, I'm here now, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Hi.
Hi,
It's
no
Kyle.
worries. Hello, Kyle.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, good to meet you.
Of course we were in a skirt.
That's real. You can't fake that.
You're not cool with the skirt?
No, not really.
No?
I'm a bit uncomfortable.
I see you trying to cover it up.
Yeah, no, stop looking at my legs.
So you don't approve of Nin's choice?
I mean, I prefer not to be in it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, cool, looks great on her, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure we look cute as hell, but...
Yeah.
I wouldn't personally
You wouldn't
fit.
personally choose it.
Yeah, exactly.
If I was controlling the clothes we wear, I'd be wearing suspenders and a bowler's hat. And then I'd go down to my club in the East End and attend to my business. That was my alternate personality there. You can tell it's real because I did the voice and nobody else can do that.
I wanted to answer the question.
You can answer it.
Oh no.
Alright, Anthony. Calm down. That's the little baby there, Anthony. Calm down. I don't know why you're so excited. Playing around with them diapers, he's got a taste for them. Anthony's Jimmy Savile personality coming out to play. So the comments on this video are exactly what you would expect. A bunch of white girls going, oh my god, I think I have DID. Maybe I'm secretly a vampire. The main person we're going to be focusing on here is Nin, also known as Dissocia DID, or Dissocia Did, but Dissocia DID sounds way better. Dissocia DID has a lot of crazy characters living in her head. We got Jade, Mara, Murmur, several different men, all of which sound exactly the same and wear hats, all except for Gregory, who is a balding 47-year-old anorexic Chinese man. Don't do the accent though, unfortunately. They do the silly accent for all the others, not Gregory. There's no, oh, hello, I'm Gregory. There's none of that. Last time I checked, she claimed to have 26 personalities, but that keeps changing because some of them fuse together. That's right, there's Dragon Ball fusion in this canon. In fact, the two personalities, Kyle and Nin, from the Anthony Padilla interview, actually merged together shortly afterwards, becoming Klim or something, I don't remember. They merged together because they fell in love. They fell in love with each other and then, lo and behold, fused together into a single being. If I had $1, let me tell you. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Bald 40-year-old Chinese man? That's believable. Dissocia DID also has various mythical beasts within her personality complex. In fact, she's made various videos explaining how it's possible for someone to possess a were-hyena personality.
Now, part of the lore around vampires is being unable to enter a home or a domicile without permission. If they are unable to cross into spaces that other people own, other people's homes, whether that be inside the inner world or externally in the outside world, that can feel like a protective mechanism.
You see, if someone keeps entering your room and raping you, you may manifest a vampire within your body. Because you see, vampires cannot enter a room without first asking permission. Now, admittedly, this concept does not apply to rapists. So the rapist can still enter, but the vampire is now, unfortunately, trapped inside the room because they need they need permission to escape the rape.
They literally cannot come in. They cannot come in and abuse me because they can't come in unless I expressly invite them to.
No, that's wrong. The guy who's raping you can still come in because he's not a vampire. He's just a pedophile. It's an easy mistake to make. They both go after young virgins. Neither of them show up in photographs. They're both afraid of running water. Pedophiles aren't afraid of churches, though. Unfortunately. The top comment on this video, POV, most of your system is vampires, and you just got called out left and right. The next comment down, the feeling of starvation is very interesting. While we don't have any vampires in our system, we do have many robots. This is literally fanfiction. Along with vampires, dissociative DID also has demon personalities, 2 to be specific. One called Demon, and the other called Mara. Here's a picture of what Mara looks like. In this video, she explains that Mara was reawakened because she put on makeup or something. Mara was created through makeup-based trauma. In this video, we get to see more of the dissociative DID lore. You see, there are fictives and there are factives. Fictives are based on fictional characters, and factives are based on real people. She explains in this video that Mara is a factive who is based on a guy who locked her in a car boot when she was a child, and I guess he was also a demon, I suppose.
DID isn't possession. That's bullshit. No god put me here. Humans put me here. You think of yourselves as so insignificant that you would need a god, or a devil, or a hell to cause eternal torment. Like you're not doing it already.
This is 100% real. This is definitely not just some fucking idiot woman from Tumblr. The comments on these videos always get me. Like, how much of a fucking idiot do you have to hear that Tumblr-ass Reddit dialogue and say, no god put me here, humans put me here? What a strong message about how our environment does horrible things to our mental state sometimes. What the fuck are you talking about? You're a fucking idiot. So some extra Mara lore here. We've discussed the fusion of Kyle and Nin. But did you know that Mara is also a fusion made up of another Mara and Doll? They're the same name, I don't know why. But now Mara has also fused with Kyle and Nin to create the three-way double fusion of Soren, who is a man, but he always wears makeup and does his hair and shit. So he's gay, I think.
Why might somebody develop a demon alter, especially a child? Surely that doesn't make sense. Why would you want something in your head that is frightening or scary? One reason might be that the child literally feels as though they are in hell.
That is more retarded and nonsensical than the vampire logic. That is such a specific scenario, and yet you talk about it as if it's common. If the child is placed into an oven, what could survive the oven? The gingerbread man. Child feels the need to escape or run away. Also the gingerbread man. My in-system wife started laughing at Mike and Soren arguing in the beginning. It was so nice to feel seen. We prefer to argue aloud if we can, because it's easier to remember conversations that way. Man, just get a fucking girlfriend! He experienced incel trauma, so he invented a fake wife personality. You're gay, dude! The last mythical creature we're gonna go over is the humble mermaid. First question, what's with the wet hair? Is that an aesthetic choice, or is it part of the mermaid summoning ritual? Did you have to drown yourself to get the mermaid out?
It's playtime, boy! You're coming on the video, it's playtime! No, please! I don't want to be on the video, no, don't make me...
My name is Mama. I don't have an age. Or if I do have one, I'm not aware of it. I have dark hair, black eyes. I'm a mermaid. I have a green tail. My role in the system is to help us deal with water-related trauma and abuse.
Water-based trauma, of course. What do you have for land-based trauma? Like a giant or something?
I'm awake more often now. I have a greater desire to speak.
She's the fucking life of the party, man. If you guys want to make more videos about non-human alter types, it'd be awesome to see a video about object alters. Trees? Rocks? What the fuck are you saying? Trees? Trees? You got a fucking tree personality? Not much of a talker, is he? You're insane! You got rocks banging around inside your head. Literally. The thing is that there is a level of logic here. It's like how in Baki the author hits you with the most retarded thing ever. but then he gaslights you into believing it. On the face of it, a vampire or mermaid altar is so retarded, and yet I can understand why stupid people believe it. My dad used to trap me in the dark cellar, so I turned into a kobold and started making candles. My mother used to call me the wrong name to dehumanize me, so I became Rumpelstiltskin, and now I enjoy it. My uncle used to shock me with a taser, so I became Frankenstein. A lot of these people also have what they describe as littles, also known as small children. Dissociate DID specifically had a rule in which the littles would never appear on video ever. This was explained in a video by Omega, who is a ghost.
We don't share their names because even a name can be powerful. It is not unusual for abusers to target littles in DID systems on the internet.
You see, the reason why we can't have the kids on camera is because pedophiles will track them down and rape them. Because if there's one thing pedophiles love, it's a 23-year-old woman pretending to be a 13-year-old. Charlotte just throws out this rule because she obviously transformed into a child on the Anthony Padilla podcast.
I wanted to answer the question.
Get your kids out for the lads. You might be thinking, how did Dissociate DID attain all of these alters? Well, as far as I can tell from watching TikToks, she was kidnapped from her house at 16 by 3 young boys, forced into the back of a car, and then severely abused, at this point manifesting 2 demons, a mermaid, a leprechaun, bald Chinese man, 4 different beanie-wearing East Londoners, multiple babies, and a pony, before being returned back to her house like 2 hours after they kidnapped her, and then nobody found out about this ever. Another character in this grand story is Nan. Nan is another mentalist boasting however many personalities they've decided they have today. One of the interesting quirks of Nan that Dissociate DID doesn't have is that all of Nan's personalities will spontaneously babality themselves and regress into infants. He not only has trigger words to shift personality, he also has trigger words to shift his current personality into a baby version of themselves. The best video with Nan and Dissociate DID is when they go to Disneyland together and then they transform into children and start necking on.
We just deserve a good fucking reparation.
There's a couple more videos involving Nan. This one, for example, where Riven does Nin's makeup. Riven, of course, being a werecat who has a southern accent. What trauma occurred that turns people into a werecat? Maybe it's falling-based trauma. They kept getting pushed off shit, so now they've transformed into a cat because cats always land on their feet. Now, these two have various cross-system romances. Some man on man, woman on woman, hell demon on were-salmon. Whatever nightmare fetish you've got, they've got it too. One of their relationships is between Nadia and a Frankenstein merger of her dead girlfriend with another personality in what could possibly be the most uncomfortable video I've ever seen in my life.
Oh. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
I dropped the phone.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh. There. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm sorry about the phone.
It's okay, I forgive you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You might be thinking, how do these losers and weirdos go around spouting off this nonsense unchecked by medical professionals? The answer? They don't. A fellow called Matthew Robinson did a presentation called Social Media and the Rise of Self-Diagnosed Dissociative Identity Disorder, in which he pretty much cuts down people like Dissociate DID who fake DID for the grift. He also brings up all, like, science and shit. He's a doctor. He has, like, the heartbeat headphones and everything. Naturally, the DID fakers didn't like their grift being exposed, so they assumed their angry pitchfork-wielding alternate personalities and harassed the hospital into taking the video down. They then started a petition to have the guy's medical license revoked, because obviously the TikTokers have more knowledge on this disorder than the guy who's studied it his entire life. Our good friend Dissociate DID also had some things to say about the video. We intend to cover this repulsive situation when we are less angry. Support the systems who have had their content stolen and used without their consent, publicly shamed and ridiculed by a professional body, and then defamed. Despite being professionally diagnosed, we're currently reaching out to other professionals. The hospital is deleting the negative reviews and has video comments turned off. Do not give the video more views. She later admitted she hadn't actually seen the video, so absolutely terrified of the grift being exposed. Then she responds really aggressively to someone just saying they thought the video was good. I don't know what was wrong. I found it very educational what professionals see and deal with DID patients. You're about to fucking learn what's wrong, wait! Ruby. People start calling her out on this, so she just starts going, that wasn't me! That was someone else! That was one of the voices in my head! In conclusion, I don't know. There's no lesson here, is there really? She definitely doesn't have DID. I'm not a doctor, but I know vampire alternate personalities don't exist. I would diagnose BPD, white woman syndrome, who's to say? But if you want to know more about DID, go and watch Sleepaway Camp.